Medicine versus Metabolism. Narration from the book Stronger Again: What Medicine Misses About Metabolism. The truth is, the human body was never meant to be managed. It was meant to be mastered. It is not a fragile construct that requires constant correction. It is an adaptive, intelligent machine that evolves with use, challenge, and awareness. But that kind of health, the kind that requires self-observation, movement, nourishment, and personal responsibility, cannot be prescribed, packaged, or built. And so it's been replaced by something easier to sell: the illusion of control. That illusion is the real disease of our time. You can see it everywhere: in the medicine cabinet lined with bottles, in the fitness app that turns physiology into points, in the endless parade of miracle diets and drugs promising balance. Control is seductive because it feels like safety. But safety, when taken too far, becomes stagnation. The metabolism is a living system that thrives on adaptation. Deprive it of challenge, and it will begin to forget how to respond. This forgetting is what has happened to the modern patient. The very feedback loops that once guided appetite, energy, recovery, and growth have been muted by chemistry. We've outsourced hunger to hormones, blood pressure to blockers, cholesterol to inhibitors. The signals that once taught us how to live are now silenced by design. When you cannot feel imbalance, you can no longer correct it. Medicine calls this progress. The body calls it confusion. A century ago, doctors knew their patients by sight and sound. They listened to breathing, watched posture, measured the pulse not for numbers, but for rhythm. The art of medicine was human before it became computational. Somewhere between the invention of the electron microscope and the electronic health record, that art was lost. The patient became a set of values on a screen, and healing became a data exercise. The irony is that we have never known more about the human body and understood it less. Nowhere is this disconnect more evident than in the world of metabolic health. Ask the average person what metabolism means, and they'll tell you it's how fast you burn calories. Ask the average doctor, and they'll point to glucose and insulin levels. Both are partly correct, and both are missing the point. Metabolism is not a number, it's a system of systems. It is the total conversation between your muscles, hormones, organs, and brain. It is how the body senses the world and decides what to do with energy. To measure it through one or two biomarkers is like judging an orchestra by a single note. And yet, that's exactly what we do. We monitor glucose and ignore glycogen. We obsess over LDL, but forget that cholesterol is also the raw material of hormones, cell membranes, and brain function. We fixate on the liver's output without asking what the muscle tissue is doing with it. This is like adjusting the oil pressure in a car without checking whether the engine is even running. The numbers may improve, but the vehicle still fails. When people complain that they did everything right and still feel terrible, they're often telling the truth. They followed the guidelines, took the medications, hit the targets, and somehow they're weaker. They've lost lean mass, their metabolism has slowed, their energy is thin and unreliable. On paper, they're perfect. In reality, they're deteriorating in slow motion. And if this is the kind of clarity you've been looking for, not shortcuts, not scare tactics, but real understanding of how fat loss and metabolic health actually work, then HPMR goes much deeper than what you've heard here. The HPMR series is available now on Amazon Kindle, Google Books, and as audiobooks, so you can learn at your own pace wherever life fits it in. And for more information on the system, the science, and how all the pieces come together, visit joeregina.com. This isn't about chasing a number on the scale. It's about rebuilding your health from the inside out and earning it back, one smart rep at a time.